Uncluttered and Unfiltered is supported by Hearts for Minds. Can you imagine waiting 10 years to get screened for cancer? On average, people with mental health issues experience a 10-year delay between symptoms and seeking help, and close to 2/3 of mental illnesses go untreated. Hearts for Minds promotes healthy lives by promoting mental health education, facilitating early identification, and connecting people to treatment. Are you ready to learn more? Go to heartsforminds.org. That's hearts, the number 4, minds.org for more information or to learn how you can help.
Welcome to Uncluttered and Unfiltered, the podcast urging you to let it go and don't look back. With nationally acclaimed professional organizer Christine Stone and self-proclaimed hot damn mess radio and TV personality Eden Kendall.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Uncluttered and Unfiltered with Eden and Christine. And Christine, you are, well, we should do the old joke. You just flew in and boy, are your arms tired. That was like an old dad joke. You did just get in last night, though. Did you drive or fly?
No, we flew.
You flew. So you went to go visit your grandson and family
for his first birthday.
Which means if you've been listening to us from the get-go, you remember before this little guy was born.
I know. Can you believe it? It went so fast.
Was there a big party?
There was a party, and they're also thinking about moving. So I don't know if any of you have ever heard some of our topics on moving or downsizing. But anyway, so as a professional organizer and a mom,
and a grandma,
we also did some purging, prepping, getting ready to
you
put the house
squeezed
on
all that
in one weekend. So
wow.
It was a lot. So yes, I am a little tired. You can probably hear it in my voice. But he is just, I mean, I say this all the time because everyone used to say, you just wait. And I'd be like, yeah. I mean,
you are wrapped.
I'm wrapped.
And Mitch.
And my husband wrapped. I mean, he adores my husband. And I've said this to other people. You won't know what it's like to see your husband as a grandfather until you see them as a grandfather. And it's a whole different side than you have ever seen your husband behave. And I love it. It's just the best.
Is it sexy?
It is. Now that you just said that. Yes. I mean, honestly, it's like you look at them in a different way because when you're raising your own kids, you're exhausted and, you know, they're working so hard and, you know, it's a different time. When you're grandparents, it's all about the fun.
Well, I have to say that some of my classmates that I see on social media, they've gone from being like, oh, look at that guy. He's turned into an old man to now he's like, oh, look at him. He's like a hot young grandfather. It just happens overnight. I don't know what it is. But I'm so glad that you had a great time. I knew you would. I don't think anybody didn't think that. While you were gone, I needed you. I needed you while you were gone. So I had a little issue, and I want to tell you about that as we get into our topic. But before we even do that, you and I saw the same article about how Gen Z, and we have to classify that is what? That's not the millennials. That's younger than the millennials, older than Gen A, if you will. They are finding that they enjoy a landline. By landline, we mean the phone that goes into the wall. And why do they love this? Because it reminds them of the old episodes of Sex and the City where they can flirtily twirl the cord around their fingers and talk on a landline and not know who's calling when they call if they don't have call waiting.
You know, everything does come back around, doesn't it? I mean, you think that's gone. I mean, I don't even have a house phone anymore. And
I don't either.
I was one of the last people that got rid of their house phone because they used to call it a hurricane phone. And so I refused to give it up because during a hurricane, that's the only phone that would work was the landline. And I finally bit the bullet when we did one of our renovations and they said, do you want to keep this landline? Like old lady almost. Yeah. And I said, I guess not. Do I regret it? Yes, I do regret it.
You do? Why?
I do, because I am very old school when it comes to it. I don't know about you, but my cable goes out every other week like I'm living in the 90s.
Yes.
I mean, you would think we are living in a different era all the time. So if you don't have, in our house, if you don't have a Wi-Fi signal, your cell phone doesn't work. So we've tried everything. So everybody don't give me suggestions because I'm telling you, when I tried everything, I have tried everything. And
because the suggestions are coming the minute you say it, which we love, by the way, but not in this case. You don't need to do it.
Well, no, because I'm telling you, I've been dealing with this for a very long time. That's why I kept my landline for so long.
I didn't know you could still have a landline. I didn't know that they would. I mean, if it's already installed, maybe, but I didn't know that you could have a land. I just didn't know. So I read the story. You said you saw it as well. It's pretty funny. I wonder what are we going to next? 8-track tapes. Cha-chink, they just change in the middle of the song.
Well, did you ever see, for a while there was old school telephones that you would put your iPhone in it and you could talk with the with the receiver. And I even got one of those. I was so excited. But, it got heavy and then I was like, I end up doing speaker all the time or putting my headphones in. So that really didn't work much, but everything comes back
around. Retro, vintage, those are the nice ways of saying outdated.
Yep.
So there you have it. Okay, so let me tell you why I needed you this weekend. I didn't really need you. I didn't want you to see what happened in my house. But I had about a panic attack because I was looking for my estrogen patches.
Oh, that's important.
I was looking for them and I was like, I should have plenty left. I know I just refilled these. I went on my pharmacy app and saw that, sure enough, I have 2 more months before I'm eligible for another prescription, and I couldn't find these guys anywhere. Of course, they're flat.
Oh, yeah.
They're patches, so they're in a flat box. Well, I found them way behind something else underneath my bathroom cabinet in the brown bag from the pharmacy. I'd never taken them out. I guess I hadn't needed the refill as quickly as I'd refilled it. And so I was able to find it, but it was a panic because you have to then call the doctor and say, I've lost it. And they have to call the pharmacy. And it's just it's a big pain that nobody needs. So I thought, well, I can't be the only one who finds themselves on more prescriptions than ever before.
Oh, welcome to the over 50 crowd.
And more ointments and more this and more that than ever before in my bathroom. So maybe a little Bathroom Organization 101 from the master herself could not hurt any of us.
Well, that story cracks me up, but it's so you.
It is so me. It is so me.
And I bet you were having a major hot flash trying to find the patches, which is the funniest part to me.
Because I know that when I don't use them, I'm a little more irritable. So I was getting irritable about the fact that I couldn't find them.
Well, you are not alone. That's all I'm going to tell you. I organize a lot of bathrooms. And every bathroom is different. So let's start off with that. Some people, have a double sink. Some people just have one sink. Some people have no storage. Some people have tons of storage. So every situation is different. The first thing, whether it's bathrooms or any place in your home that you're organizing, is have a system. If you don't have a system, this will constantly happen over and over and over. So it's so important to remove every single thing out of your bathroom cabinets, drawers, and start over. And the first thing we do is grab a waste paper basket so that you can just start throwing in the garbage, things that are expired, that you never use anymore, that you were going to use and you thought you'd use them, but you're never going to use them. That's another thing. You get a lot of those, well, maybe I will, maybe I won't, but you never do. Items that broke you out, caused you to get a rash, but you just still are holding on to them, get rid of those items. The next thing is look at your space. Everybody generally doesn't think about the vertical space under a sink. They only think about sliding items in, but that is such great space by using stackable drawers or, some sort of drawer system. It's so funny. You not only double it, you quadruple the space.
That's right.
Yeah. So that is so important. I also like using Lazy Susans under the sink. I have one for myself for all my hair care products. And so what really is important is sorting items after you have purged, making sure like items are together. So your tanning products are in one area, your hair care products, your skincare, your makeup, your medications, so that when you need something, you know exactly where it's at. And a lot of people think it's tedious, but once you do this, you'll never look back, and you'll start to conquer other areas in your home. So for myself, I have an area for all the medications.
Uh-huh.
And you seem to get more and more medications just for no reason at all.
Isn't that crazy? Eye drops and
everything.
All of it.
So it gets overwhelming. And I don't know about you, but I invested in a pill container because I was forgetting when I would take something. I go, did I take that?
So just like Grandma had,
Yes, I'm
you
Grandma.
now have that plastic with the days of the week and maybe even 3 slots because afternoon, PM.
I had to, because this is the thing. We multitask so much in our life that if I don't have that system, I may overdose because I never can remember at this stage of my life, did I take that? Did I not? Did I even take my probiotic? I can't remember. So I had to figure out a system for myself so that I would know if I took something or not. So like I said, everybody, you're never alone. But having a space, it doesn't have to be in your bathroom. It could be in a linen closet. Sometimes people keep them in a spare bathroom because nobody's using the bathroom. But gathering all your prescriptions, looking at the expiration dates, and if anything's expired, take it to your pharmacy and they will get rid of it for you. So you don't need to worry about just dumping those in the garbage can.
Oh.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. Every pharmacy will take them and dispose of them. If it's any kind of, over the counter like hydrocortisone, I like to keep an area or a bin that has your basic first aid
First aid,
needs.
sure.
So Neosporin, Band-Aids, thermometers, like anything you need if you get sick. But I don't keep in there cough syrups or any of that because I sort those as well and keep like headaches, stomach, those type of items, and then label the bin so you know what is what and where everything is at. It really, really, really makes life so much easier.
Do you want to know how to send everyone in my house into a frenzy? Someone yell, "Where's the thermometer?" We have no idea. Could be upstairs, could be downstairs. So this is great information. And so you say it doesn't necessarily have to be in your bathroom. It just has to be somewhere where everybody knows where to find it.
Well, when you're an empty nester, generally,
You and
not always.
one other person, maybe.
You have one other person, but you usually have at least one spare bedroom. So a lot of clients keep those items in a linen closet or in a spare bedroom. That way they have more room in their own bathroom.
Sure. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. They'll keep the basics. Like I said, I keep the basics in my bathroom, but the rest, I don't keep my cough medicine, any of that kind of stuff. No.
Speaking of the cough medicine, I imagine that if I were to put my hands on a bottle of cough medicine in my house, it would be 2 years expired.
Right.
Advil, I have 5 bottles of Advil around the house, and I don't know which one was bought the most recently.
Yeah. Well, I see that all the time. Advil, Motrin, they have but usually because they're all throughout the house.
Yes.
And they're not all together. And that's what costs money is when you keep buying items you already have because they're hidden in places and you didn't know where, and you'll be going through the drawer and go, there's that Advil I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So keeping all like items together saves you money, saves you time searching for things, as you well know, and keeps you organized. People are like, how do I stay organized once I get organized? Have a system. Make sure that when you run out of something, you put it, make a list or have an app where you can put that you need this, you need that. And that way you're only buying what you need.
We have a joke in our house, as I'm sure a lot of you guys do, that the only way to find something we're looking for is to buy a new one.
Right.
Then it will turn up.
Then it'll turn up. It's so true. So true. And I know vitamins are really big too when you're over 50. I personally do take a lot of vitamins. So I had to have a system for that. So I have Lazy Susans for those. That way, every day I can go in my Lazy Susan, grab what I need, and then put it back and put it in a cabinet. Lazy Susans.
So you pull the whole thing out.
I could. Sometimes if I just want to take, I'm feeling like I'm getting a cold, I have something for immune support, I'll just pull that out.
Yeah,
and
spin that sucker around.
Spin it around.
Okay.
It just makes it easier if you're working with a tall cabinet.
Sure.
Because then you can't see when you just start piling stuff in a cabinet that isn't have a drawer that pulls out. So Lazy Susans are great in bathrooms, in kitchens, anywhere that you just want to be able to see what you own, like a corner of a cabinet. It just makes life easier. And also, they're very inexpensive. So it's inexpensive but functional. And countertops. People always say, should I put stuff on my countertops in the bathroom? I think that varies because if you don't have a lot of cabinet space or drawers, you have to use your countertop. And I like to use those for keeping makeup, skincare in a stackable drawer system so you can see everything, make sure you sort like items, and then keep your most essential skincare on the top so that you can just reach your sunscreen. But everybody's bathroom is different, like I keep saying, so it all depends on your storage. But the countertop is not off limits if you're really lacking storage in the bathroom.
What about all those pipes underneath the sink? I mean, that is something that's different in everybody's house, right? So that's why we measure.
Everybody's house. I cannot tell you how many different combinations of plumbing I've seen under sinks. Everybody's is different.
Oh my gosh, we have double sinks in one bathroom and they're different from each other.
Yes. That's all the time. So you need to measure around the plumbing. There are still so many drawer units that fit perfectly. So it's not a big deal. But if you get a wide drawer situation going under the sink, it'll never fit.
No.
And using between the drawers on the right and left-hand side, putting something in the middle for your hair brushes, your hair tools, there's always space that can be used. You just have to step back and really look at it. And that only happens after you purge so you can really, really see what you're keeping and what you own.
But I threw the measuring thing in because if you're like me, you're the kind of person that's listening to this podcast and you're about to pass a Target on your way home. You're like, I'll just run in here now and do this when I get home. Don't. You got to measure.
You got to
go home and measure.
You got to measure. And another item that is absolutely essential, if you have drawers in your bathroom, is drawer organizers.
I have them.
Yes, you have to. Because if not, it just is a hodgepodge and a hot mess of whatever is thrown in there. And then you're buying more eyeliners, more lipsticks, more items you don't need, but it's just a big drawer full of stuff. So having drawer organizers, and I am telling you, you can get them at Walmart, Target. They look great. They're no different than anywhere else, and they're very inexpensive. And you can even get them in sets. So keeping your drawers organized by separating, for instance, foundation, putting all your foundation together, putting your lipstick together, your eyeliners, your brow essentials, anything that you use. And I personally, since COVID, have simplified my makeup routine, which I highly suggest to people who are over 50. I mean, everybody's different in the coverage they need and what they like. But having 20 foundations, I just don't even see the point because you can get really good CC creams and BB creams that double as moisturizer. And so I just think keeping your everyday routine really, really simple. And the last thing I have to bring up, and this is because of me, not because of anyone out there, is when you're purchasing all these items that have cords, like my mask that we've talked about before, my Dr. Dennis Gross mask that I use every single day still. My new face, I just purchased another item, which I'm not talking about yet because I haven't used it and I'm dying to see if it works. They all come with cords.
Yes.
All of them. So I went on Amazon, got these little plastic containers that you just fold them up, put them in the container, and then I label them for what the product is and stick them in my bathroom drawer.
I need to do that.
If you don't, you're never going to figure out what
You know how many
cord.
times I've like, does this fit?
Right.
Does that fit?
Right.
Does this fit?
It works in the junk drawer. It works in the bathroom. It works in a home office. Anywhere that you are dealing with this cord dilemma, which everyone is dealing with it now. There isn't a person out there that doesn't have a million cords that they can't figure out what goes to what.
Yes. You're so right. You are so right. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Just because you paid a lot of money for something, whether it's a beauty tool, a hair dryer, a new brush you bought that was $90, and you're like, why did I even buy this? If you can't return it, let it go. Give it to a friend who might want it. But keeping items that you are never going to use, especially bulkier beauty tools or blow dryers or curling irons or flat irons, any of those items, you're just taking up valuable space. And bathrooms generally do not have an abundance of space.
Right. The more you have, the harder it is to find your estrogen patches. Take it from me, ladies. Take it from me. Okay. Well, this has been very informative. I now feel like I have about 3 projects I need to start immediately, and I will do that.
I can't wait to see it.
We've
Send
done
me
it
an
before.
after.
It's not that I haven't done it before, but it gets away from you. And then I've added a lot of inventory into my bathroom. So that's where that came from. So thank you for addressing my personal questions. And the good news for you guys listening is you have the same opportunity. You can suggest a topic and Christine will address it just like she did for me today. So if you want to do that, please visit us on Facebook. Well, first of all, we are everywhere. Every social media, like more than any other 50 plus woman is, because trust me, it's not a comfort zone for either of us. So we're everywhere, but also we have that private ladies only group called Uncluttered and Unfiltered Ladies Only. It is on Facebook. You have to ask to be let in, but once, we see you are who you say you are, we'll let you in. And then it's very easy for you to put up a post, ask for a specific topic, or even just message us and ask, and we can cover that. We've done it many times before, and we're always reading everything.
Everything. Both of us read everything. And I say this every episode, but it's so true. This is why we started this podcast, to bring a women's only over 50 community together.
So there are a million things that podcasters are supposed to ask you to do at the end of their podcast. We like to just say, could you share us with one friend? That's really all we ask. And in the meantime, whether it's the cord for your LED light mask that's going to keep you looking 20 forever.
Well, I don't know about that.
Or it's the Advil you bought in 1995. You can let it go.
And don't look back.